Who's ready for another book of the week? You are? Good, because this one is a ground shaker. If you're unfamiliar, the book of the week is a series where I let you guys in on what I'm reading and loving, and it's short because who has the time these days? This week, we're talking about the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. I hope you guys enjoy the ambiance I've got going on today because it is raining like crazy and I unfortunately shoot these videos right next to a window, mostly because I'm not that smart. But anyway, it'll sound great. It sets the tone, right? If you haven't already heard of this book, then boy, do I have a treat for you. The 5th season, the first book in the Broken Earth trilogy, was 2016's winner of the Hugo Award for Best Novel. And it's easy to see why. The story is told from 3 different points of view, each intertwining with each other and building towards a reveal. The novel begins in the second person, which is frankly jarring at first. I don't typically like reading in the second person at all. And in order for second person to really come off right, I often feel that particularly poetic prose is needed. To my delight, Jemisin did everything right on this front. Her way with words rivals every other giant author in this space and challenges anyone to criticize it. Honestly, I found it hard to do just that, as I was swept away into a story so personal, so heartbreaking, brutal, and dark that you don't often have the mental energy left to even criticize the craft. The story is simply all-consuming, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about the setup. In an alternate reality, Earth is called the Stillness, and seismic activity ravages the land. There are seasons, each with different expectations, the 5th season being the worst of them. The 5th season is an extinction-level event that terrorizes the populace. Much of the planet's history has been lost, with ruins scattered across the lands, and only remnants of former times immortalized in incomplete stone lore that's been passed down through the years. Giant obelisks float in the sky, but no one really knows what they're for. The civilizations in this book have survived for thousands of years by harnessing the power of orogenes, those with a magical ability to essentially control earthquakes. They can manipulate the earth around them. Though with such power, they must be controlled, which is exactly what the Empire does. Orogenes are feared and often despised by the underpowered civilians whom their very existence is often a threat to. However, orogenes are a necessary evil in order to control this constant seismic activity. Thus, many of them exist as sort of slaves. We follow Essen, I'm probably not getting these names right, a mother with things to hide who's just trying to live a normal life in a small town. But things get dark pretty fast when she arrives home one day to find that her husband has brutally murdered her baby son and fled the scene with her older daughter. Now she has to fly across the land in hopes of catching them and rescuing her daughter from her deranged husband. All the while, what little civilization they have is collapsing around them. So let me just say up front that the world building that begins this trilogy is truly brilliant. There's no other word for it. It doesn't take long to realize that the world you're stepping into is truly unique. You immediately start to marvel at Jemisin's imagination. It's really a pleasure just to behold. Unfortunately, that beauty is a dark one, though no less engaging for it. I wouldn't even call this series grimdark. It's simply incredibly bleak and unforgiving. And I say that only as a warning to those who might not be in the mood to get down and dirty for this type of story. Make no mistake, this book is freaking sad. Tragedy looms around every corner, and at many points you find yourself wondering, will it ever get any better? But that doesn't mean it's not worth reading. In fact, I think for the science fiction and fantasy community, it should be required reading. This trilogy won 3 consecutive Hugo Awards for a reason. This book has so much to say that it would simply be better for you to read it than try to have me explain it. But I want to convince you, so I'll say this. The 5th season addresses social issues, cultural issues, political issues, and mental health issues. And Jemisin holds nothing back on any of these points. I think that's why the series is so jarring yet brilliant. It hits you so hard that you never really stop wondering how she did it, how she pulled it all off. Jemisin writes with such tact and conviction that her passion is honestly infectious. So that's it. That's why I want you to read this book. Did I say enough? Did I paint a picture vivid enough? You tell me. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you'll check out the book, and I hope that you'll like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a ton, and I've got plenty of new content coming out for you guys every week. Otherwise, I will see you guys in the next video.